So he has 2 videos on this. Oh, what a thumbnail. So let's see what the harmful onion man has said here.
I recently watched Nick Shirley's video about Somali-run daycares in Minnesota, and while I'm not a big fan of some elements of his approach,
we were just curious, where are the children at?
He has certainly effectively spotlighted a number of highly questionable...
You know, that one clip just makes me think of the, hey yo, where the white women at? So yeah, I can see that.
Entities, and we are going to take a quick peep at just one of them today.
This place is called Future Leaders Early Learning Center.
Upon visiting, Nick was greeted by this monged-out individual.
Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork or can I check out the daycare? No? Why can't I check out the daycare? Okay, but if can I get paperwork or anything to submit my son, little Joey, to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Fraud or not, I don't think this lady should be looking after anyone.
I can agree
imagine
with
your kid's
that.
been having a problem and you go to talk to the staff, and that's what you're greeted with. But maybe she's just the lowest level grunt. Maybe she just hands out the snacks. So I looked them up online, and they have a website. Correct address and everything. This logo on the page is a slight variation of the one that sits atop of their building and uses the same font. It's their website. So let's see who's running this joint. Meet, Chief Executive Officer. And that image is creeping me out.
That image
because I
looks
reverse
AI.
image searched it. Does this look familiar?
What?
It is almost identical, but there is one feature you might have missed. They appear to have stolen this image and used it.
That is really creepy. That is the same image. Just, I guess I was right. They might have fucking grokked it into making the man Smollett. He does have the same weird fucking ear in both pictures, though. How does that happen? What's going on here?
An AI filter to make him smile. Below the Meet, Chief Executive Officer blurb, they have another picture of the CEO and a name, Ali, who is of course...
But that looks like a completely different guy. What did they mean by this?
Who is of course not the same person as the other image at all.
Thank
he is
you.
of course also available on Shutterstock. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't generate him, because elsewhere on their website they brag about their use of AI. What makes your program unique? We are AI-powered personalized learning and a play-based curriculum to create an engaging, effective, and fun experience for every child.
A play-based curriculum? Like playing the taxpayers-based curriculum?
Incredible. Except elsewhere on the website it's made clear they're referring to the Lilio app's AI features, not exactly proprietary Future Leader Early Learning Center software. It's not the only place I'm thinking they're using AI though. They have a blog with 3 entries. This is pretty normal, happens all the time. A place thinks it will be a good idea and then they realize no one looks at it, so they just stop posting. No, you see what's weird is that they were all spat out at the same time back on the 12th of March, and this is how long the articles are. And here's my favorite of the 3. Play isn't just fun. M-dash. It's a powerful learning tool, and
I hate how the M-dash is now like something that the AI puts in everything, and so people pick it up as like, this was definitely written by AI. Because you know who uses the M-dash often when they type? Me! I fucking use the M-dash all the time. And it's like, when people started saying, oh, you know it's written by AI when they use the M-dash, I just immediately got like cartoon sad face. Like, well, fuck. Now I have to consciously try and not use it anymore, or I'm gonna have a bunch of room temp IQ people accusing me of using grokathy to write things. But aren't all VTubers AI?
Appear to have fabricated an entire podcast. There's even a form you can suggest topics with. But it's all nonsense. At the top they say the host is Kara, but at the bottom they say the host is Khadija Jamila Badr, apologies for pronunciation, using a picture they stole from LinkedIn of a man, and the description calls him a devoted mother. You also, of course, cannot listen to the podcast. So how did this mess happen? Is it just that they've generated placeholder stuff? No. It's all stolen. See, I was originally thinking of getting in touch with them, but I noticed on their website that they have 2 different phone numbers. They had a support contact, but also a media relations contact. I tend to Google numbers before I call them, and this is not theirs. It is, in fact, New Horizon Academy's phone number. And wouldn't you know it, on their website is the real Parenting Pickup podcast. There's Kara, the actual host, and you can listen to it.
Everyone, welcome to the Parenting Pickup.
These Somali businesses aren't just stealing your taxes, they are stealing their competition's websites and identities. They are turning Kara Johnson Bader into Khadija Jamila Bader. The Somalis in Minnesota are Netflix adapting real people.
That's
When you scroll
wild.
New Horizon Academy's learning program page, there is a real video you can play of their facilities.
At New Horizon Academy, every decision...
The Somali clone, on the other hand, has a stock video that doesn't represent their facilities at all.
Well, of
if you're
course.
curious, it's here. They have even copied when it doesn't make any sense.
They couldn't even make
the New
an
Horizon
AI
Academy
video.
has a ton of locations. So, of course, their website has a Find a School Near Me button. The single location, as far as I'm aware, Somali Daycare, copied that feature for some reason. Steal first, ask questions later. And they're not just stealing from that one business. In fact, they're stealing from us.
Because they probably didn't think anyone would actually go to the website. Especially when there's 20 million other daycares in the same block. Like, who's gonna bother checking this? We could just keep stealing tax dollars. No one cares.
Over here across the pond, on the Somali Daycare website, they share a picture of their classrooms. Looks alright, but it's actually an image they stole from a daycare over here in Guildford. Here's a double whammy of weirdness. Jumping back to New Horizon, here's how they present parental testimonials. The Somali Daycare stole that, screwed it up and stretched the image out, and used the name Apple Childcare Center. But it's...
It's probably even simpler than we all think. They probably didn't go to other daycare websites specifically to steal things. They just Google image searched for certain keywords and then brought up whatever websites looked good to sort of Frankenstein mash their website together.
meant to be Future Leaders Early Learning Center. Interestingly, all of the links to socials on the Somali website straight up just link to the homepage. The Facebook button goes to Facebook, YouTube to YouTube, TikTok to TikTok. Instagram, though, merely has the text Apple Child. Now, they seem to absolutely hate naming their CEO, which is weird because you can simply look the business up and see it's apparently a lady called Fahima Mahamud. Perhaps they scrubbed her from the site following this, you might think. Her LinkedIn has disappeared, I don't know when. But here's the thing. In the deep, dark depths of this website, if you look around enough, they name a guy, Khadijo Gesud, sorry for pronunciation. And if you look him up, you'll see that he's the CEO of Apple Childcare. Did they just steal his details? Did an AI pick it up? Or is something stranger going on? I'm pretty good at scrabbling around on the internet. Someone better at looking deeper into these things. Maybe you should take a look. Lots of interesting stuff to dig around in. I mean, even the URL is weird. cchildcares.com. The contact email is at futureleaderselci.com, which makes a lot more sense. And in the past, cchildcares.com was the website of a Chicago daycare. Either we've got rogue AI agents on the web trolling, or this is the most suspicious daycare center website of all time.
That is very suspicious. That is very suspicious and weird. I never even thought about looking at the websites, but that makes a lot of sense. And let's see, because he had another video, AI daycare fraud. So I'm assuming he goes deeper into some of these fraudulent websites. And it's very interesting, like how, I don't even want to say how far these people went to like cover up their scam, because it's not, like if any normal human went to the daycare or looked at these websites, it wouldn't fool anybody. So I don't really understand the point of like setting up these things that are so very obviously fraudulent.
The last video I uploaded was a quick look at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, a Somali daycare in Minnesota that was visited by Nick Shirley. If you don't remember, it's this one. More specifically, I took a quick look at their website, where the vast majority of it was either stolen and edited with AI, or entirely fabricated. A lot of you enjoyed that video, and I enjoyed looking into it, so I decided to hunt for other sketchy Minnesotan daycare websites. And
That's true. We have watched Financial Audit. There's very stupid parents out there that won't look at these scam sites' finer details. And I guess my next question is like, I know that all of these are in heavy Somali neighborhoods now, but like, it can't be that Nick is the first non-Somali person to go to any of these daycares, right? Like some other parents had to have accidentally stumbled upon them while looking for childcare, right? It just seems very improbable that they've been doing this for years. They've gotten like violations from government like apparatuses coming in to look at them. Nobody else has stumbled upon them. It just seems really strange. Is the birth rate that low? I don't know, man. Maybe no one would believe them, so they left it alone? Maybe. But they aren't accepting any kids? The parents couldn't put their kids in any even if they wanted to? Right, but the parent wouldn't know that unless they went there and they asked, right? And if you went there and you asked and they acted the way that they acted toward Nick Shirley, shouldn't that raise red flags? He's the first to not care that he was called a racist? I mean, maybe. The Egg Shen, thank you. How many of us have been paying our jizya tax for decades without knowing? Great fucking question. There's a very real chance the parents saw the surrounding area and noped the fuck out. I mean, that's also a good point. These daycares are in very strange areas to have daycares.
Instantly found more, but they weren't just sketchy in similar ways, they were clearly made by the same person or people. See, a standout feature of the Future Leaders website was that they pretended to have a podcast called Parenting Pickup. But you couldn't listen to it,
that was a real
and all the
podcast on a
details were
different
cloned
site.
from here, the real Parenting Pickup podcast, except they race-swapped and changed the name of the hosts. These other websites I found also pretend to have a podcast called Parenting Pickup with the same text and details stolen from the original. So now we know there's an interconnected hive of these things. If we're going to look for links, we need to look for what they have in common. And most important is something I overlooked. They have a login portal, and all of them say powered by Ilmiya at the bottom. Now, when I looked at that one website in my last video, I stupidly ignored it because I just assumed it was a website solution or something, like Wix or Squarespace. But of course, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And as it turns out, Ilmiya is actually extremely important. Inspire learners on your terms. Ilmiya gives you the power to design your own school. Your way. We help you launch fast, scale smart, and lead with impact. Now, why is this service apparently exclusively connected to the absolute sketchiest Minnesotan Somali daycare websites ever? Well, I looked into them as best I could. They are Minnesota-based. I couldn't find much about their CEO, who goes by two different names, Daha Noor and Taha Bahaji, but their chief marketing officer, who goes by Mahad Omar and Mahad Hassan, likes to post quite a bit online. Here's a photo he posted of himself. Notice anything? Yeah, this is about the point at which I decided I needed to make another video. Now, he is real, and he does look like that. And he has uploaded videos of himself.
Had a personal AI tutor working 24/7. The days of one-size-fits-all teaching are over.
There's something a bit off about it, though, isn't there? Let me make it a bit clearer for you.
Doesn't come from paperwork. It comes from people. And Ilmiya makes that possible.
At this point, we've heard him have 3 different voices. True. I think the last one might be real because you can hear room noise, and he's actually open about this. For some reason, he considers that drab background with trash on the floor to be futuristic. So, this guy at Ilmiya loves faking stuff. And there are a lot of extremely sketchy websites linked to Ilmiya. Could this guy specifically have something to do with that? We've got a little line of red string. Let me thicken that into a rope. Here's another one of his personal videos.
2 children sit in the same classroom. One is taught to memorize and obey. The other is taught to think.
That stock footage at the top sure looks familiar. Ah yes, it's from the same set used on one of the fraudulent websites. But Ilmiya shouldn't be making your website, and especially not in the way they have, and these websites do represent real businesses. What Ilmiya is just meant to be is an AI learning tool with student management, as this horrendous video that guy uploaded explains.
Teachers create, students learn instantly. Meet Aid, your intelligent AI learning companion, real-time tutoring, immersive study mode, multilingual support, safe by default. Students get help.
Gee whiz, sounds wonderful. You know what else this could be used for? Generating records of any number of kids that don't exist, including a detailed history of past work they've done with your agency. I'm sure no one has any interest in doing that. It could also be used, of course, slightly more legitimately, to farm a mass number of remote students without needing any more manpower. Now, there is another website I found that's powered by Ilmiya, and it's far more legitimate than any of the Minnesota Somali daycares. This one is clearly being used by people and functions. Iqra Kids, Islamic studies designed to make your child love learning about Islam. Go to login, same page as the daycares. And our friend Hamad has a wonderful heart-touching story about this tool. A totally real Facebook tale. Today in North Minneapolis, I visited a weekend Dugsy, M-dash, and what I witnessed felt like a glimpse into the future of Islamic education. Children were learning how to read, others were beginning to understand the words of the Quran, but one student stood out. He was the top student in his entire class, M-dash, not just in memorization, but in understanding and fluency. And the difference? He was using our personalized AI-powered Ilmiya While his classmates were learning in a traditional setting, he had a one-on-one learning path, M-, tailored to how he learns best. Then, his father walked in. He watched quietly, and after just a few minutes, he said something I'll never forget. "Now I know why my son is ahead of everyone else." That's when it hit me again. Success shouldn't be a mystery. When a child has access to the right tools, M-, personalized to them, M-, success becomes predictable. This is just one child, but imagine if every child in every Dugsy had their own Quran coach, their own reading guide, their own path. That's the future we're building, and it's already happening. Personalization is not optional. It's the future of Islamic education. I will say, at least he's pulling this bullshit on his own guys too. He's also made a just fantastic Islamic AI sing-along app, where apparently he's making AI clones of sheikhs. I'm not 100% sure, but check out his demo.
قل أعوذ برب الناس
ملك الناس
إله الناس.
Hashtag Somali excellence. Hashtag Somalia. As many people who watched Nick Shirley's video noted, most if not all of the daycares he visited, even if functioning and legit, are effectively Somali only, based on the competence in English and general communication capacity. You shouldn't send your kids if you're Somali, and you can't, really, if you're not. But even the tech that will be indirectly funded by these daycares, if they're really using it, isn't really meant for anyone else either. Ilmiya won a Global Somali Awards award. They were recognized.
How did it win a fucking award? What are the Global Somali Awards? Are these like just as real as those shitty ass DEI rewards that we found out about? Where they're just like, oh yeah, let's get all of these like DEI acolytes and HR professors coming in here. Well, we'll give you the DEI Excellence Award. Do you guys remember that shit?
For redefining access to quality learning for Somali students worldwide. People theorize about funneling money away. Here's one possible mechanism, run by a proud guest of Minnesota's Somali Networking Night. This AI-generated dementoid wants his fingers in everything for the benefit of his nation to which he is fiercely loyal. If you wish to fully grasp the level of thieving retard we're dealing with here, watch my previous video. If you've already seen it, I recommend watching it again, with the knowledge now of who's behind it. This total fucking freak, who when he speaks Somali or whatever, shows himself. But if he has to speak English or wants to speak English, he AI generates himself with an ever-morphing accent.
That's why we built Ilmiya, to give teachers back their most valuable resource, time. AI does the paperwork. Teachers do the people work. Because the best education...
Teachers do the people work. I wonder how many like English-speaking people have fallen for this.
Doesn't come from paperwork. It comes from people. And Ilmiya makes that possible.
People like to say they're being targeted just because they're Somali. No, actually, I think the opposite's true. The only reason they're being defended is because they're Somali.
True?
Because otherwise, everyone will be tearing these fucking weirdos to shreds. A lot of people try to say Nick Shirley's video doesn't count as journalism at all, because there are flaws with it. Okay, fine. But it was undeniably a lolcow documentary. Open your goddamn motherfucking eyes, look at these people, and then remember they are in education and childcare. This is all beyond fucked.
I love Upset Onions. Upset Onions makes a very good point. It's just like the more that anyone digs into this, the like just more insane that it gets. What the actual fuck?